I'm Misty RN, faith-based RN health and wellness coach, and I'm here to talk to you today about some spiritual and physical wellness. I got my socks blessed off today. It was a really interesting conversation. It's really amazing how God pulls his children together to help one another and build one another up. And stewardship is my word for the day, just being a good steward of the gifts that God's given us to do. And my scripture is out of First Peter chapter 4. And the encounter that I had with an individual today was just super nice. I met him in the aisle of Walmart, and I was looking for a tea kettle, and he said, "You don't need that." And we just started talking, and he's telling me about some issues that he's having. And so I showed him my Yuka app. I said, number one, know what's in your food, know the additives, the chemicals, why they're hazardous. And I showed him he had a loaf of bread and some Mentos and some plastic water bottles and some Coca-Cola in his cart. And I just took him. I said, hey, look, it's just about knowing what's in your food. And so I said, this Yuka app is really good about scanning this barcode. I said, let's see what's in your bread. So the bread had chemicals that are contributing to cardiovascular disease and kidney disease. And so the Mentos had 16 different hazardous chemicals in it, and not hazardous, all of them. The 16 additives, and five of those were hazardous chemicals. So I just showed him you tap on the chemical and it tells you kidney, autoimmune, all these criminal things that are allowed in our food supply in just enough tiny amounts to where they're allowed to do. They're generally recognized as safe, although the consumption of them repeatedly is obviously making people very sick, right? So we just had a really good conversation that led into the spiritual health that I love to talk about. And I told him, I said, God just has a better plan for us. He has a better plan for our health, and he has a better plan for our food. And he said, it's really funny you say that because me and my wife just got rebaptized last week, a couple of weeks ago. And he said, my mom's been praying for me for many years, and just made me want to tear up. Um, because your prayers matter. Your prayers for the people you love matter. And I was just so blessed by the whole situation. So I just want to share that with you. The scripture today comes out of First Peter chapter 4. And he says in verse 7 through 10, he says, the end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be self controlled and sober minded for the sake of your prayers. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality to one another without grumbling. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. God's varied grace. That's awesome. So the word of the day is steward, and we're going to be a steward for each other, spiritually and physically. So, what I'd like to show you as a steward for stewardship towards you today is some sweet potato biscuits. Maybe not biscuits. Nah, we'll do pumpkin. I don't know what I'm doing. I have this bit of sweet potato left over, and I thought about biscuits because in my Encyclopedia of American Cooking, they have a sweet potato biscuit recipe, which is really good. So we just harvested all of our sweet potatoes, and I will have many, many more coming to develop some sweet potato biscuits with that. But today, with this small little leftover sweet potato, I'm going to make sweet potato pancakes. So it's going to have what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a minute to time out and grind up some flaxseed because the NutriBullet's really loud when I grind up some seeds. I'm going to grind up coconut, not coconut. Lord, I have no idea what I'm saying today. Oats. I'm going to grind up some oats. I'm also going to do some pumpkin These are pecans, not pumpkin seeds, but I have pumpkin seeds too. We'll do that. I was really curious about these chestnuts. So we're found some organic chestnuts. We're going to try that in our recipe today. So chestnut sweet potato pancakes. And then I'm going to do some granola, organic granola with no seed oils. I believe that you and I could start our own business with just developing breakfast items without seed oils. And wouldn't that be an amazing feat for so many people? So many struggling moms who want an easy fix for breakfast. We want to give them an easy fix for breakfast. So that's the way to do it. Everything without seed oils and minimal sugar. That's the way to do it. That's the way to get our kids healthy. That's the way to get us healthy. That's the way to stay healthy and do real fats. You know, the whole fats that are in the butter, that are in, animals that have eaten some decent food, hopefully. And then definitely, if we can find oats without any Roundup sprayed on them, those as well. So we're going to try it. We do the best we can with what we have, don't we? So we don't get too worked up over all of that. I'm going to get started grinding, and then I'll meet you right back here to mix these things together and create some delicious sweet potato pancakes. Okay, I have not made this recipe yet, so I am winging it, and this is the first time to make it. So I'm starting off with a quarter cup of flaxseed, and when I ground the flaxseed, it made half a cup of flaxseed meal. So knowing that, I then put a quarter of a cup of oats in the NutriBullet, and that made a quarter of a cup of ground oats. So there is that. I have approximately a half a cup of sweet potato that's going to go in. Actually, not yet. What I want to do is put a little bit of baking powder in that. Sticky. So we'll get a little baking powder, aluminum free baking powder. I'll use a half a teaspoon. Mix that up. The sweet potato is going to sweeten it. I need cinnamon. Always need cinnamon. Cinnamon counteracts your carbs, right? Ordered cinnamon. Kind of nice to have all your stuff together before you start. I have most of it here. So that is a quarter of a teaspoon. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon cinnamon. Yum. Smells good. All right. So here we have our chestnuts. That is so bizarre. They're already molded. Man, they weren't in no time. Or some of them aren't. That's interesting. I just let's see, a handful of pecans, probably quarter of a cup to half a cup. So I will blend these and I'll be right back. I don't want you to have to hear that loud blender. Okay, it made like a paste, which is pretty good. And that's about a half a cup of nut paste, pecans and chestnuts. Now, you can see I use my blender quite a bit. It's been a staple in my kitchen for many, many years and will be continue to be for many years. All right, so this is about a half a cup of sweet potato. I'm going to switch my blades from a cutting blade to a pronged blade. I'm going to add an egg to this. And I want a little bit of almond milk. I'm thinking maybe half a cup, maybe a cup. Let's do a cup. The batter's too thin. You can always add a little more oats. Don't want it too thick. So that's going to blend. Hold your ears. Okay, I got it. Look at that. Beautiful orange color. Sweet potato, egg. Oh, it's thick. Are these not going to be like to die for pancakes? No, of course not. They're just going to be taste really good. We'll see here. Look what a mess I have. Yum. That's exciting. So exciting. Most people don't get excited over food, right? Food's fun. Food should be fun. Should be delicious, nutritious, and fun. And I've always liked playing with my food. So I have no idea if these are even going to hold together. How about that? I don't know. We'll see. Got some good fat from the flaxseed meal. We have our fiber and our protein from our nuts and our seeds. So it's not too thick. That's a pretty good pancake batter right there. All right. You get to come over and have a little, oh, let's see. See on the stove how this all works out. Hang in there. Okay, so we're by the stove. I've got a little bit of butter in my skillet. I had to add another quarter cup of almond milk to the batter because the flaxseed soaked it up really quickly. And then it was not pourable. So I definitely wanted it to be a little bit more pourable. This is been on low, the skillet has. So we're going to get that in the skillet to make our pancakes. There's one. That is way too much butter. But that's okay. Give them more flavor. I didn't put any oil in the batter, so see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is put my, I'll turn it up a little bit. Turn it up to 2 now that I've got some food in that skillet. I have no idea how they're going to turn out. I don't even know if they're going to flip correctly. We'll see. But I know they're going to taste good. So it doesn't matter if they do flip. They're still going to taste good. All right, our second batch of sweet potato pancakes doing much, much better. Put that back a little bit so you can see these stack up nicely. Toast our pecans. Nice little sweet potato pancake. Looks beautiful. Some toasted pecans on top. on the side. Be ready for a little bit of maple syrup. You could freeze these and have your own special pancakes for your kids for a quick breakfast in the morning. Protein, antioxidants, fiber, all the good stuff. Enjoy. We'll see what it tastes like. It's good. It's really good. Granola's baking. Get that out. I'll show you pictures, and you have two easy recipes you can do with no seed oils for breakfast, right? You be a good steward today. I'll be a good steward today, and we'll please the Lord. You have a great day. I'm Misty, your RN faith based wellness coach. If you need any help, reach me at mistypuffer.com and we'll talk through some of your health issues and see what's going on with you and how we can get you on the right track to lifestyles, activity, new attitudes spiritually and physically. Thanks.